Good afternoon. I would like to introduce pre-recorded remarks from the Honorable Todd Young, United States Senator for the state of Indiana and ranking member of the Senate Foreign Relations Subcommittee on Near East, South Asia, Central Asia, and counterterrorism.
Hello, I'm U.S. Senator Todd Young from the state of Indiana. I regret that I couldn't be with you in person today at the second Global Emerging Tech Summit. I want to thank Eric and Ely for the kind opportunity to speak on a topic of close interest to all of us: America's leadership in the face of emerging technologies and geopolitical threats. The future success of America will rise or fall on our ability to embrace and lead on emerging technologies. Technologies that will unleash America's ability to outcompete and out-innovate our leading geopolitical foe, China. Right now, we're in the middle of a great power competition with an authoritarian regime in Beijing that rejects democracy. As the National Security Commission on Artificial Intelligence highlighted, we're simply not doing enough to keep pace with the Chinese Communist Party, and in many areas, we're losing. The CCP is currently investing $1.4 trillion in frontier technologies that will dominate the 21st century: artificial intelligence, quantum computing, and hypersonics, among other key technologies. Simply put, the Chinese Communist Party is publishing more AI research, producing 4 times more STEM graduates than America, developing hypersonic weapons, and ultimately preparing to dominate the 21st century. This is also why I fought hard over the last 2 years for the passage of my China competitiveness legislation, which by this point you may know by one of its many names: Endless Frontier Act, U.S. Innovation and Competition Act, CHIPS Plus, or the CHIPS and Science Act. This law will confront the economic and national security challenges America faces today. It will boost semiconductor manufacturing here on our home soil, unleash private sector innovation at places like Purdue University and the University of Notre Dame, increase federal national security investments, and establish regional technology hubs in locations across the heartland. Simply put, this bill will make America stronger, safer, and more prosperous. This bill will allow America to lead the 21st century. Understanding the road forward, though, means the U.S. cannot just be a global leader in emerging technologies, but we must be a global partner as well. By leaning into our global partnerships, we have the capacity to greatly outstrip China's technological investments. In fact, the top 20 of countries for innovation and research is full of partners and allies from here in North America to Europe and Asia and beyond. Every single one of these countries has encountered China's coercive economic policies or seen the effects of the Chinese Communist Party's investments in technology. They understand the stakes involved in losing the race for the technologies of the future. That's why we must embrace our shared innovative spirit and lean on our partners of the world. I'm grateful for the repeated and outspoken support and validation that Eric, Ely, Bob Work, and many others provided for this bill. Your emphasis on the national security benefits of this legislation were instrumental in getting it over the finish line. One provision I was disappointed to see fall out of the package, but hope we can still enact through other legislation, was an idea championed by myself and some of my colleagues in the Foreign Relations Committee this year. This provision would create a technology partnership office at the State Department, which would run point on reaching bilateral and multilateral technology agreements with advanced democracies. Akin to the G7, this forum would serve as a place to establish shared practices and rules of the road for emerging technologies. It would help to establish a unified front to the predatory practices of the Chinese Communist Party and the Putin regime in Russia. And it would require our partners and allies to put skin in the game and reckon with the global technological challenges facing us. This is just one solution to this challenge, but I hope that it serves as a lodestar for cooperation with like minded governments and societies. And I'm sure it will be consistent with the ideas you'll hear today. The United States can both lead and win in the years to come. And with the passage of this China competitiveness legislation, I believe we'll win in the face of emerging technologies and Chinese aggression. Thank you again for inviting me to speak today.